When we talk to each other, we look each other in the eyes, and it's a huge part of effective conversation and is vital for building a good rapport with whoever you're talking to. However, with so many people using video chat systems at home these days, we are looking at a screen, so we actually lose that eye contact because we're not looking at the camera. And this is a shame because we do lose a fairly important part of communication when this happens. So in this video, I'm actually going to be showing you how to build a system that allows you to retain eye contact with whoever you're talking to over the internet. It's not particularly difficult to do, and it's super cool. So let's get to it. Now, a cool thing about this system is that it's actually collapsible. So it's great for portability as it can fit inside your laptop bag. And the first thing we've got, and the first thing I'm going to show you how to build, is a collapsible shroud. Now this actually fits onto the laptop like so, and surrounds the screen. And this is super important for the whole system to work, as you will see. But to make it, we actually need some sheets of foam board. We're using foam board here because it's a craft level material and is therefore very easy for most people to work with at home. It consists of a sheet of foam sandwiched between two layers of cardboard, so as a result it's very lightweight and relatively rigid. Now, I won't be giving specific measurements for the shroud we're going to make with these, as all laptops are different sizes and shapes, so instead I'll be showing you how to make one specifically for your own laptop. We'll start by making the top of the shroud, for which we can simply take a sheet of foam board and cut off an edge with the help of a ruler. It's important to use a freshly sharp tool for this for a clean and neat cut, otherwise you'll just end up with ugly tears which doesn't look good at all. The piece we've just cut off can now be glued on top, and because the surface of the foam board is essentially cardboard, we can just use craft level glue. Using this new piece as a reference, we can actually place the laptop on top and mark its front edge, and this will define the depth of the shroud. Once this is trimmed down, we need to glue a new piece on top in order to make a little groove along the back edge. The function of this groove is to actually clip onto the screen bezel, holding itself in place. The next piece we'll make is for the bottom of the shroud, which sits just above the keyboard, and you need to leave a little gap between it and the front of the screen. So to connect these pieces together and make the folding system, we can cut out some side pieces which then need to be divided exactly in half. Now these actually need to be joined together again, but instead of using tape, which is likely to detach over time, we're going to glue on a piece of fabric. This basically makes it into a simple hinge, but because of the thickness of the foam board, it doesn't allow it to open any further than flat. Using some more fabric, we can glue these to the top and bottom pieces, being careful of alignment, with the fronts of all the pieces being level with each other. And once it's dried, it should open and close quite easily. Nice! Notice how the sides overlap the edges of the top and bottom, which prevents them from opening too far. Giving it a test, you may find out that there's quite a bit of play, so to rectify this, I recommend gluing in place some small triangles that can rest against the screen itself to hold it nice and squarely in place. So as you can see, it completely surrounds the screen, and because it's black, it means that it blocks a lot of external light, which improves image quality in the final system. So with the shroud complete now, what we need next is a very special mirror. Now this might look like any old mirror, but it is in fact a two-way mirror, which means that it lets some light through. It's made of plastic and you can get them from most good craft shops or the internet, link in the description if you can't find one locally, and it actually fits inside the shroud like so at a 45-degree angle and can be held in place by some clips. Now to make the clips, it's actually just a case of cutting through the foam board at an angle so that a pair of mini shelf brackets can slide in place. Now you might be thinking, what on earth is this for? How does it work? Doesn't it block the screen? Well, because it's two-way, the light from the screen can pass through it. Yes, it's slightly dimmer, but you can still see it just fine when indoors, and it works really well. It almost looks like it's not there at all. However, if I put my hand in front of it, you can see that the mirror is in fact reflecting light from the bottom of the shroud. And this is the fundamental function of the whole build, because it allows us to actually get an external webcam. Again, this is DIY, but I'll show you all about it in just a minute, and put it on the shroud, and it can see you through the reflection on the mirror. Now, I will be explaining why this is significant in just a minute, but before then, I'm going to show you how to make this webcam, which, as you can see, is super thin. This thinness is achieved by repurposing the webcam out of an old, dead laptop, as they're designed to be flat. This is a great way to recycle otherwise useless electronics that you or your friends might have lying around, which keeps this project cheap and accessible. That said, if you don't have a dead laptop to disassemble, you can even buy these things separately online as spare parts, and they are extremely cheap. You can find some links to the correct search terms in this video's description to help you to find them. Whichever way you acquire them, they do need to be wired up to a USB cable in order to be used as an external webcam. It is recommended that you use a soldering iron for this, but you can just about get away with twisting the wires together if you don't have one, as there are only 4 wires to worry about. They do need to be connected up correctly, however, so when you get to this stage, check out my video on how to do this properly over at the new DIY Perks Extra channel, which contains everything you need to know. There's a link to it in the description, and perhaps you can consider subscribing whilst you're at it. Anyway, once wired up, you can give it a test, and it should work just like any old external webcam, usually without even needing any drivers. Nice. With it now confirmed to be working, we can glue it inside a piece of foam board, which keeps it nice and secure and protects any delicate wiring. It does need to be completely black though, so we can cover it with some black fabric that has a hole in the middle for the lens to see out of. Now, as it is a little bit lightweight, we can glue some washers together and paint them black, after which they can be glued on top to make it just about heavy enough to not be influenced too much by the stiffness of the wire when slid around. With it placed inside the shroud, it looks upwards towards the mirror. However, it being black means that we can't really see its reflection, but if I shine a light on it, you can see that its reflection actually appears to be on the same plane as the screen itself, and as such it looks out at the user from this point. This is all thanks to the mirror being angled at 45 degrees, as most of the light coming in gets directed down towards the camera, whereas light from the screen at the back can pass through it unhindered. If you look closely, the distance from the point of bounce to the camera is the same as the point of bounce to the back of the screen. And it's this consistency in distance that creates the illusion. So with it all complete now, I think it's about time we give it a test. So I'm just previewing the camera feed on the camera app in Windows, and if I position the camera inside the shroud so its vague reflection appears to be over my face, it should mimic a Skype call with someone else. And if it looks like I'm making eye contact with you, then the system is actually working. And as far as I can tell, it's like I'm looking in a mirror. And when you look in a mirror, you're always making eye contact with yourself. So, so far, so good. So this is looking super promising. But before I try it out on a call, it's time for a quick ad from this video's sponsor, Honey. Now, we all enjoy online shopping, and it's supposed to be pretty easy, but when I do it, I always have this nagging feeling, am I getting the best deal? Because of promo codes. You see, lots of websites have promo codes that you can apply at various times. They always vary, and sometimes they have good savings, and other times not so much. But the tricky part is actually finding valid ones. Now, this is where today's sponsor, Honey, comes into play, because they can automatically scan coupon codes for the website you're on and automatically apply them to your shopping cart. And it's definitely legit because it's part of the PayPal and Venmo family. Now, to get Honey, it is completely free, and all you have to do is go to joinhoney.com/DIY-perks, and installing it is super easy because it's just a browser add-on, so it's just a couple of clicks, which is super cool, makes it super easy to get basically free money, because at that point, why not? So again, that's joinhoney.com/DIY-perks, and you could save all sorts of money on all sorts of things. Definitely a no-brainer and recommended. So thank you for Honey for sponsoring this video, and back to the video. Now, sometimes when you're on a webcam call, getting even lighting on your face can be a bit tricky. So what I've done is make a little DIY tube light. Now this is actually really easy to make. And the first thing it needs is a strip of tracing paper, as this will diffuse the light and make it soft and easy on the eyes. Now we can stick a thin strip of metal along the bottom. I have a piece of aluminium here, but it could equally be an old metal ruler or something. It doesn't matter too much. With that done, we can now apply some double-sided tape onto the back of some kitchen foil, and in turn stick this just above the metal strip, as this will act as a reflector for the strip of LED tape we're going to use as the light source. Once the tracing paper is looped around and stuck in place, we can now wire the LEDs up to a 12-volt DC power adapter, like one from an old router or external hard drive. Normally I'd solder this, but just like with the webcam, it's not strictly necessary, and you can actually get away with just twisting the wires together. Make sure that you get the right polarity, however, as it won't light up otherwise. And make sure that you insulate the connectors with some electrical tape so that they don't touch each other and short out. Looking good! So with that, it can just fit on top of the shroud, like so, giving you an even lighting. Now, time for the call. Hello!
Hiya!
How are you?
I'm alright, thank you. How are you?
I'm alright. So I'm testing out the new eye contact webcam system. So I've positioned what looks like the vague reflection of the camera over your face. So this should look like I'm making eye contact with you.
Yes, it does. It does. Yeah, very
And
much
is it
so.
a lot different from a normal call?
Well, it is. It makes you feel as though I'm really talking to you.
Okay, cool. Because for me, you're actually looking at the screen because I haven't made one of these for you yet. And as a result, I've lost that eye contact from my side. But if you look up at the camera,
Yeah.
that kind of fakes it. But the thing is, you can't respond to my facial expressions and there's not that link there.
We can't. It defeats the point, doesn't it? You know, if you're looking up there all the time.
Yeah, well, sometimes some people do that, you see. They actually intentionally look up at the camera, but that's super unnatural. Whereas this system, you actually are naturally, organically looking someone in the face. So it actually works pretty well, I think.
It does, yeah, really well.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm super impressed with how well this works. And there aren't even very many downsides either, because, I mean, maybe its size is kind of bulky, but you can fold it down, so that's all right. But I hope you guys make this, actually, because it's not very expensive and not very hard to do. And you can make them for your family and have a little network of people you can converse with properly over the internet, which you will enjoy when you see it actually in action. Now, before I go, I just want to say a huge thank you to my Patreon supporters that are supporting me at patreon.com/DIYperks, because the numbers have shot up recently, and I really appreciate your guys' support. It means a lot. So thanks a lot, and I hope you enjoy the videos that I come out with into the future. But other than that, I'm Matt, you've been watching DIY Perks, and I hope to see you next time. Goodbye for now.